Hey stars, welcome back. It's Shot a Star. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend and I hope you're getting ready for a great work week. I have some stories I want to share with you guys, and we're gonna start off with New York. Mhm. Well, starting today, December 15th, Sunday, 2024, there's a new ban on sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits by pet stores takes effect today. Again, a ban on sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits start today in pet stores in New York City and New York State. Um, well, what that means is, seriously speaking, starting today in New York, you will no longer be allowed to sell dogs, cats, and rabbits starting today. It's aimed at stopping abusive breeders and large scale breeding operations known as puppy mills. Now, I don't know, is it just me? But I think that that's going to actually cause more breeding places since now those are of people that follow the rules and go to pet stores and buy their pets, their dogs, their cats, their rabbits. Now you can no longer buy them. So where else would you get them from but a breeder? So I don't quite understand how that's going to stop breeding. So now you can only adopt. Okay, great. But now you're going to still, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Just another thing that New York, it just doesn't make sense because everyone doesn't go to breeders. Some people go the right route. And now those people can't even. And I think that more people own pets than ever. And I personally think that had to do with the pandemic, meaning that people that were alone and didn't have families, they welcomed a pet for companionship and fall in love. We have a cat, and we've at times had two cats. So I say that to say I think that even people in apartments have pets. Like I'm like, wow, two pit bulls, or I'm like, you have those in an apartment. But I digress. I think that this needs to be thought over a little more because if I can no longer now buy a cat, a dog, or a rabbit, who else am I going to go to but the black web and to breeders? Where else would I go? So I don't quite know what that was going to be, but whatever. Um, just another silly little thing. Okay, we're gonna do some Sean Puffy Combs news. I know, it's the same old thing. Child, bear with me, okay? Now, there are three new lawsuits that was filed within the past couple of days by three men. Okay, so we've heard this before. These are not the first. It was other men before these three, but these three um, lawsuits are being taken pretty seriously because, from what I'm reading, allegedly they have so many complaints, and then they go through and they're going through them with like a fine tooth comb, and they found that these particular three men had a case. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if the if internet will let me be great today.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing new rape allegations from.
I guess not. So again, three new essay allegations by three men, and one of them apparently was an ex-employee of Mr. Combs. And apparently these three men don't know each other and on different occasions, and they somehow got into contact with Mr. Combs some way, and they, again, as we always heard, given a drink, felt weird, lost consciousness, and came to being while being essayed. Um, I'm not surprised anymore. I mean, like, come on, we should be really at the point where, but what's different about this is we've heard about people coming and talking about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or, like case that was the suit that was filed against Puffy and Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z, was 24 years ago. These assaults were supposed to have happened between 2019 and 2022. Very recent. So I don't know. Um, we will definitely have to wait and see, I guess. We have to wait and see what comes of that. Um, in other Puffy news, Puffy seems to have now finally given up, or as they say, abandoned any attempts to get bail. We know that he's requested bail on 3 occasions and have been denied on all 3 occasions. And then I hear people constantly say that, well, there's other people that are accused of the same things he's accused of, and they got bail. And they more so try to make it more of a racial thing. And I don't quite know if I agree with that, because you have to remember, they're going by the person's history also. And allegedly, Puffy has a history of violence. We have seen with our own eyes the Cassie video, so we know that part. But he's also allegedly been accused of tampering with witnesses, threatening witnesses, paying off witnesses, just a little bit of everything. We've heard about him allegedly having cars explode, blow up. We've heard it pretty much all. I mean, nothing else. We finally stopped talking about baby oil. So now it's on and on. And now the men are coming out. And I mean, I don't know. So, like I said, but as far as him abandoning any attempts of getting bail, because he has a violent past, I never thought he was going to get bail. Those other people don't have the reputation of going after witnesses and whomever dislikes them or whatever the case may be. He does. Puffy does have that reputation, allegedly. So that's the reason why I never thought he was going to get bail. Um, and like I said, when the feds come, that's why the feds, I'm not going to quote, I don't know exact numbers, but I know that the feds definitely have between a 95 and 99% conviction rate, which means they don't come after you unless they got their ducks in a row or they pretty much know what they're doing or what they're talking about. So nevertheless, you have all these people coming out. We're going to just have to wait and see, just like everybody else. Now, what I will say is um, the case starts soon. So, I mean, he's been in since what, September? And we're now in December, getting ready to go into January. So, I mean, where is that? Okay. Okay. So, we've talked about the assassination of the CEO. And they had been threatening the family and spoofing the family, and I forgot the exact word, but sending the police and stuff, threatening bomb threats and stuff like that on the family of the CEO that was assassinated from United Healthcare. Well, now hackers, on these signs that we have on the highway where they tell you next exit is closed or accident ahead, the digital ones where they can pretty much type in and it comes across the screen. Um, well, one less CEO has started to blink on some traffic signs, or we're going to talk about a traffic sign at this moment. Um, I believe it's in Seattle. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to get to it. Um, what I think is, um, what I think is, give me 1 second, people. We coming. Um, it's what it's doing. I'm sorry. I'll have to go. This is what's going on. These are the signs that's coming up. It's stating one less CEO, and it's actually calling for more assassinations of CEOs of companies. So I personally think that that's going to change everything for CEOs, CFOs, or even presidents of companies now, with as far as protection goes. This is a sign, and this is what it says. I don't even know what to say about it. It's heartless. It's crazy. But we're in a very technical savvy kids. And I don't even know if I want to say if kids did this or what, but the story is they're asking for more CEOs to be assassinated through these signs. And like I said, you never know. Some people are just crazy like that. You don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on in their heads or what they're really thinking of. So, with all that being said, we're going to go to Jamie Foxx. Now, we spoke about Jamie Foxx. Now, okay, so we talk about Jamie Foxx. Now, we talked about Jamie Foxx when he stated that Puffy had gave him, this was to get us to watch his new Netflix comedy special. Um, he stated that Puffy had gave him a pill and it caused him to go into a coma and this, that, and the third. And, of course, it was, it was getting to get everybody to watch his stand-up special actually on Netflix. But we found out the truth by watching it that, he claimed he had a headache. He asked a friend for an aspirin, and before he can even get the aspirin, that's all he remembered. He woke up 20 days later to find out that he had bleeding on the brain, which caused him to have a stroke, which caused him to go into a coma for 20 days. So, okay, we got that part of it. So, at this point, seriously speaking, I'm thinking, Jamie, you might need to keep your butt at home. Seriously, all jokes aside, because after going through everything you just went through, and you said out of your own mouth, I don't have to say allegedly, that this was a life-changing thing. You stated you saw the tunnel, but you didn't see the light, meaning it wasn't your time. So since you now have another chance, right? Now that you have another chance, you have to realize one thing too. Sometimes we just need to sit down, no matter what. I understand you have something to promote, so you want to be seen any and everywhere. Well, this is what happened, guys. Jamie Foxx was having a birthday dinner this past Saturday at Mr. CHOWS in Beverly Hills with his family. And it stated that allegedly there was some people at the table next to him. They were being loud and, doing things. And apparently Jamie asked them to maybe simmer down and calm down a little bit. His family was there. And when I thought that, I thought maybe aunts, uncles, maybe minors, some cousins, family. It's a dinner. It's not a club. So apparently they didn't like that. And someone from that table threw a glass that hit Jamie in the mouth, which caused him to have to get stitches. So that's why I'm saying, girl, maybe it's time for you just to sit down somewhere. Just sit down and relax. Relax, seriously. It's stating that Jamie Foxx said he was hit by glass at a Beverly Hills restaurant where a fight with other people allegedly broke out on Friday night. Sorry. So the Oscar winner required stitches following the incident at Mr. Chow's in Beverly Hills. So I'm just taking it as, girl, sit down. Like, seriously, like, you have, first of all the money and notoriety that you can have a private chef. A private chef will come and cook for you for free because of who you are, just to be able to say that you're a client. But nevertheless, at this point, you've just gone through all of this. I understand you're promoting this special, great. But hire you a private chef at home, your family. I'm sure your bar at home is like a bar at any place else. Have your drinks at home. Because to be honest with you, at this point, I really wouldn't trust drinking out and eating out. Meaning, everybody has fans just like you do, Jamie. And when you go to the point of making fun of people, which is your job, you're a comedian, but sometimes things go, and you have these people that you're speaking of have fans also, and some of them are crazy. And you don't know who's cooking your food. You don't know who's making your drink. You don't know any of these things. So I would be easy. I would sit myself down. I would spend way more time at home with my family, as you stated, and love on them and have them love on me. Because this right here, it don't seem to be working for you, bro. I don't know. It just seems not to be working. I don't want to say luck, but I mean, gosh, goodness gracious, baby. Well, we're gonna move on. Now, you know what? I came across something that was interesting. Surprise, surprise. Now tell me if you're surprised at this. President-elect Donald Trump went to I believe it was the Army and Navy football game. The Army goes against the Navy, like that. And he invited Daniel Penny. Okay. Yeah, the same Daniel Penny who was just acquitted on the chokeout death of Jordan Neely in New York on the train. That same one. Daniel Penny. So was I surprised that Donald Trump invited him, a personal guest, to this game? No. And was I surprised when Daniel Neely accepted and went? No. Absolutely not. Because see, right now, Daniel Penny is a superhero to some. He's the Caucasian man now that took up for people and unalived an African American man in the name of safety and got acquitted for it. So right now, Donald Trump, of course, would love to align himself with Daniel Penny. I wouldn't even be surprised if somehow he winds up bringing Daniel Penny into his cabinet, giving him something to do. Who knows? Because I mean, seriously, think about it. This man is in his cabinet. First of all, he's hired over 30 something new cabinet and one African American, which is in charge of HUD. I'm going to let that sink in a little bit. Every administration, the HUD person is always an African American. Like we are the only ones that know how to deal with people of different places and different nationalities. Okay, I digress. But am I surprised about this? No. It's actually a good meeting for him because see, we didn't know where Daniel Penny stood as far as politics during his case. We just know he's an ex-Marine and he made it seem as if he was on a train and this African American crazy homeless man allegedly started threatening people and doing this and doing that. And he felt like it was him being an ex-Marine to take charge and to take him down. And in the midst of that, Mr. Neely is unalived and you're acquitted for it. And now the new president elect invites you to a football game with the boys just to hang out. And you accept it. So I'll let you know where you are. But I don't know, people, we have to honestly get ready for more of the same for the next 4 years. Seriously. We've survived 4 years of Mr. Trump before. And we now have 4 more years. We know what he's capable of to a point, and we know where we stand with him. And we also know that this man, just think back at the cabinet that he select to be the head of this and the head of that and the head of this. It's buffoonery. It's comical. It really is. It's comical. It's comical. Like I could be Secretary of State. Yeah. Listen. Anyway, so I'm not surprised at that. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's given a part of this presidential, like a job to do under this administration. I really would not be surprised. Okay. Now, this next story is my last story for this video, and I saved it for last because, listen, on my channel here, I come from a very religious family, and my followers and my subscribers come from all walks of life, and some of them are religious and some of them are older. So I try to watch myself of using any profanity or any of those things because it's just not becoming. And people judge us for using profanity because we have lack of better words or lack of vocabulary. Yeah, so that's not the case. The point is, this Florida school teacher allegedly makes racist jokes during class. Now, this is the story. Picture it. There's some African American kids in the class and some other kids. I would assume, it's just allegedly that they were Caucasian. They could have been Japanese, Chinese. I don't know, but I'm just stating. They were making fun and making racist jokes towards these African American students. And when the teacher became aware of what was being said and what was going on, instead of her reaching out and trying to help or to end the situation, because these are our kids. We look at teachers for direction. We look at them sometimes even for protection. You know, listen, this once she became aware of what was being said, instead of her helping the kids and just getting rid of the situation, she joined in and she asked them, did they want to hear a black joke? And of course, they said, yeah, they wanted to hear the black joke. Well, her black joke was, what's the difference between a black man and an animal? An animal is there for their family. And they said she laughed uncontrollably. The students stated that they have never heard this woman laugh this hard. Um, I don't know. It just really makes me very angry that um, this is going on in our schools, and this is going on. These are the people that we entrust to teach our children. And you know, as students, we all have a favorite teacher, and we hope and pray that our child's favorite teacher that they're really paying attention to has the right mind, has the right heart, intentions are right and pure. But that's not always the case. Because again, our kids are kids. They're impressionable. These are sixth grade kids that we're talking about at the moment. So they're impressionable. And this is not funny. If I ask any of my subscribers or anyone that comes across this video and you have kids that are in school, do more than just go to school or parent school night and all that stuff. Sometimes sneak up in there and walk up in there and make a real attempt to speak to your kids' teachers, not going in ready to fight. Go in ready to listen because they'll tell you the truth. And that's how you can gauge who's teaching your kids. Speak to them about certain things. Ask them certain questions. We're very smart. We know what questions to ask and what answers we would like to hear and what we should hear or what we want to hear from someone that's instructing and directing our kids. I mean, I find that the hate is not just starting at home. Apparently, it's also there in the school, in the classroom with our kids. So what do we do? What do we do about that, people? Seriously, it's unacceptable. And I think I also stated, I think personally, and it's just me, how police, correction, probation, and fire department, they all have to go through psychological evaluations to get the job and to keep the job. Now, sure, some of them become unraveled during the job or through it, but I also think that the teachers should also be taking these evaluations. I do. I don't think some of them are even fit. Just because they went to school and got a degree does not make them fit to be in the classroom with impressionable kids that's hanging sometimes on their every word. So I challenge you guys that are parents, go check on, learn your kids' teachers or get an idea. Because most of the time you don't, right now, most of y'all don't even have an idea. Y'all have only seen this woman maybe once or twice. And of course, she's on her best behavior. Of course, what do you expect? But you know, if I was a parent, I might find my most racist joke that doesn't cross the line to the point where they don't actually think I'm racist, but I could be, and see how they respond to it. If they think it's the funniest thing in the world, then you know what you got. If they sit there and don't want to go into it or whatever, then you know what you got. And then you say, you know, that was just a test. I wanted to see where you were. You know, whatever. You guys are smart and resilient. Y'all know what to do. But again, I love you guys. I want you guys to be intentional. I want you guys to be informed. And you can't say you don't know. I try to bring you stories that you may not hear every single day or somewhere. They're getting better. And if you notice, today wasn't a Walmart day. Okay. So with that being said, I love you guys and I want you guys to have a blessed, great work week. And again, be intentional. Love you guys.